Hello everybody, and thank you for joining us today. This is the Escape from Santa's Workshop Director's Cut. My name is Andy Southgate right here at Westminster Palms, and I'm sitting here with the Game Master, Mr. Colin Bollinger. Now, I had the pleasure of being the host and working alongside this brain genius here as he created all of this. So Colin, tell us what's going on.
Thanks, Andy. Like you mentioned, I'm Colin Bollinger from Westminster Palms, and we were just very lucky that we had an amazing setting to create an amazing production. This video is actually the same production that we put on during live on December 21st, but we're going to have some behind the scenes footage stuff. So if you still haven't participated and you'd like to participate while this video is going on, we're going to have a link down below that you can go to the clues video and download that right now and then be able to play the entire thing as we go. However, there's going to be some breaks in this where Andy and I are kind of discussing the behind the scenes factors. So he was in the room was chaos, he was managing all of the people in the room, and there was a lot going on, and so you're going to hear from his perspective what was going on. Additionally, I was in the room right next door, and there were a bunch of residents in that room, and I was managing them as well as all the technology that was incorporated into this production. So you're going to hear a lot of fun stories, a lot of interesting stories about how we were able to create this, and just a lot of background information from an event that was really novel. And we hope that you have a ton of fun paying attention, and here we go. So the first part of this video that you're going to see is actually us decorating. So this is in fast forward, and the decorating took us about 22 hours. We're going to talk all about this, but we're going to go back all the way to the beginning and talk about how we came up with the idea.
22 hours was a lot of time. So Colin, tell us, before we get too far into this, how did you even come up with this idea? Where did your inspiration come from?
So I was thinking about things that I could do with my family who are in Portland, Indiana, South Carolina, and me in Florida during the holidays. And I came across escape room kits that you could buy, and you could do them together from all over the place. So I thought to myself, I was like, whoa, if I can do this with my family, why couldn't we do this live with everybody from Westminster? So initially I thought we could definitely do it with Westminster Palms, and then I kind of just working through it, I was like, whoa, we can do this with everybody, every Westminster, and bring people together just like we do with the games. So I'm a type of person, Christmas time for me, I'll invite a homeless person off the street to come to my Christmas, because Christmas is just exceptionally special to me. So I love being around people, and I wanted that during COVID. I knew I couldn't be physically around it. I wanted to get people together, so that was my biggest goal.
So Colin comes to Westminster Palms, he comes to the leadership team, and he says, I have this idea, I want to do an escape room. And several of us looked at him with blank stares, and we thought, how in the world is this going to work? But we all took a leap of faith, and we said, yep, we want to do it. And so we got a few members on board, and we started planning it. So Colin and I sat down, and we had an introductory meeting, and I just picked his brain with all of his ideas.
So the interesting thing about this is I've never done an escape room. So Andy has done multiple escape rooms, so I was picking his brain just as much as he was picking mine, right? So I had a lot of concepts in my brain about how I wanted the story to go and how people could interact technologically, but I had to know how an escape room works before I even did that. So that was kind of our first meeting, and I learned so much from that meeting, and he wasn't the only person I went to in Westminster. I went to a few other department heads who had been in escape rooms, and I talked with them. I said, hey, what's it like to be in an escape room? Is this something I could do? And things like that. Because not only did I have to learn about escape rooms, I had to learn what parts of escape rooms were COVID friendly, right? So, because escape rooms in their own nature are touchy-feely. So I had to think of a way to kind of shift that around.
And therein lies your challenge, is how do you build an escape room for a group of residents who've never done an escape room and maybe don't even know what an escape room is? Because part of the challenge of an escape room is understanding how to attack an escape room. So after you've done one, it gets significantly easier. And that was something that we really struggled with, was how hard do we make it? How hard do the clues need to be? How long should it last? How quickly are they going to get through this? How much are they going to enjoy it?
Yeah.
But we didn't worry too much about all that. We just said, you know what, let's build the highest quality program we can, and let's just move forward.
Yeah.
And that's what came out of that meeting for us, was a lot of ideas. We threw a lot of things on the wall, and there were a lot of questions, a lot of what ifs, what's going to happen, what might happen. And let me tell you, the residents had just as many questions, if not more, as we did, and that is what made it so much fun.
Yeah. And so the way we actually chose the residents was by doing a challenge in November that was a scavenger hunt challenge. We hid, St. Pete does painted rocks, and we hid turkey rocks all around the campus and around in the area around the campus. And the people who went out and found those were the people who were invited to be in the room. We knew that these people were people who liked hunts, right? And so we wanted people that were curious and things like that. So that's how they got invited. They didn't even know that they were doing a challenge to get invited into this room. So that's how we did that, and made it, figured out the people that we thought would be the highest priority for this specific room.
So we have our planning process. We have a pretty good idea of what we want to do. We're not exactly sure how it's going to unfold. We come up with our residents, our prospective list of residents and who we want to invite. And now it's about putting it together. Now, Colin spent hours and hours and hours designing these clues and putting it together in his head.
Yep.
And then it came time for decorating. And it was a Sunday, and
yes,
we got here bright and early, and we decorated.
Yeah, and we dedicated the whole day, and we still didn't get done. That's how you're seeing that right now. This is in 20 times speed, so you're seeing how much we did, so much time put in creating this room. And my goal was to make this room like an I Spy book. If you've ever done an I Spy or Where's Waldo book, I wanted there to be so much clutter that you were overwhelmed as soon as you walked in. And I also wanted it to feel like Santa's workshop, you know. So you can see on the wall here to the right, we actually had these windows, and this was a craft that our residents made, right? So I thought that was really cool, is that we were able to incorporate other activities throughout the month that helped build this. And they built these windows. These windows have snow on them falling, so it looks like you're looking out of Santa's workshop into the snow. So
the decorating that you're seeing here, as you can imagine, a lot of prep work went into this decorating. So Colin, about how many weeks worth of prep work went into what we're looking at right now?
Oh man, so the clues took me a solid week and a half, 2 weeks. I mean, obviously I have my other responsibilities at work, but trying to figure out how to do that. The main thing what I had to do was I actually created 5 mini escape rooms. So, and that's to keep everybody apart, right? So we had the 5 different resident groups, and they had their own tables, and they didn't have to interact with each other. And that is the main part that helped us be able to make it COVID friendly.
And then during that day, we had a few times where we realized that things that we had planned were not going to work out the way we wanted them to. And we had to change a few things, and we had to buy a few things, and we had to do a little bit of shopping. Of course, we bought some special things. And I spent some time at the hardware, and the people at the hardware store thought I was a crazy person for sure. But amazingly enough, when I was at the hardware store looking for a box that would lock with a lock, I actually ran into one of our elves at the hardware store, but I did not tell him while I was there. In fact, I was pretty stealthy. He may not have even seen me at all, but I'll never forget that I ran into him at the hardware store and went the other direction because I didn't want him to see what I had my hands on.
Wow, and that was probably only minutes before our prep meeting with the elves. So all of our elves had a prep meeting in which we told them, you know, hey, we're not going to give away a bunch of information, but when you get in there, you need to root around with everything. That's the first thing. Secondly, there's going to be a bucket. Start with the bucket. And third thing, make sure that you enunciate to the camera because this is a production. So those are the things that they knew, and that was all they knew going into it. So you can see how much transformation we've created all just in this fast forward. And we're going to move in now into the final production. So the next part of this that you're going to see is going to be the different tables and areas that we created. And we'll talk about those a little. They're pretty awesome. Here we go.
Let's take a look at the stations, and let's start with the toy bench where all the magic happens.
So you can see that we have just a ton of different toys on this bench. There's some army men on there, there's some cars, there's coloring books, there's a naughty list that will come into play for sure. There's a couple frisbees there. So we definitely have done a great job to confuse whoever's there the first time.
Station number 2 is where all the stockings are stuffed before Santa hangs them on the chimney.
So with this one, you can see this is the only place that we had 2 tables. So this one is kind of overwhelming right to begin with. On the right side, we had some stuffed animals. On the left side, we had a bunch of stockings. You can even see the mini stockings there. It was a great station with a lot of fun.
Station number 3 was Santa's desk, and this was our most intricate station.
So this was because there was a lot of information in the books, there was a lot of information on the computer, there were some Dear Santa letters written to Santa, and it was a very complicated area, and we had to have somebody who was up to the challenge.
Station number 4 was outgoing gifts, and Colin, this station was clearly your favorite.
Well, who doesn't love gifts at Christmas time? It was really awesome, and I love the Santa's bag, which is on the left there. And the fact that we had the materials, the wrapping paper and the ribbons are all there as if the elves just got done cleaning it all up.
And our last station is the elf check-in, and we're all familiar with checking into places nowadays.
So you can see we have the thermometer there to check temps. We also have the coffee maker and cookies. So in comparison to donuts and coffee that you might get at a different job, elves get coffee and cookies. Now, I want you to definitely take a look at the sign, because on the sign, that's a Buddy the Elf symbol right there, okay? Buddy the 6-foot elf is Will Ferrell's character from a 2003 movie, and it's a very important aspect that will come to play in this escape room. This concludes our background commentary on the setup of the event. Let's go on to start the show.
All right, hello everybody. I am Colin Bollinger. I'm the fitness assistant here at Westminster Palms, and we have a great event planned for you. We've been working on this for actually months. The people who were invited to the room actually did a challenge that they didn't even know that they were doing. So we've been putting this together for a very long time. We are utilizing multiple streams of technology, and the biggest concern that we have is the masks and the sound. So we are all going to try our best to enunciate, to get our words out there, but there may be some stifled sound just due to the mask. So we are doing everything that we can to make sure it sounds good for you at home. If you are watching and you'd like to play along, this is a mystery event. This is a thriller event, okay? There are many of the clues, about 60-70% of the clues are actually online on another YouTube video, okay? You can search Westminster Palms Escape from Santa's Workshop, and that clue video is up there as well. You can pull that up simultaneously, and you can be playing along as our residents are playing. And some of these clues are so difficult that they may need your help, all right? So, if you are able to solve a riddle before they're able to solve a riddle, please email westminster.elves@gmail.com. Your emails will then pop up on this screen, and they can help out the people in the room, all right? So this is not just the 8 people who are participating in this room. This is the hundreds, the thousands of people who are listening and watching online, okay? We need your help. There's no way that we can find Santa without your help. It's Christmas Eve, and Santa's missing, and we have designed this room so that they cannot do it by themselves. Okay, so we need your help. Again, that email is westminster.elves@gmail.com. If you pull up the hints, that is on the hints video for the entire time of the video. So you'll have it as a note, all right? If you're watching at one of our communities or at Westminster Palms, we have put a crawl down, and there's additional information on the crawl. I can't speak about that information right now because I have some of our resident elves in with us. We will have one of the most amazing, spectacular 758-year-old elves that I've ever met. All right, he is he's recovering and from some elf surgery. He actually got his pointed ears removed, but it's amazing. He's great. He's a great host. His name is Andy, and he's going to do a great job. He'll introduce this entire program for you. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome, everybody. My name is Andy Southgate. We're so glad to have you here. And I have 8 elves in the room with me, and they are raring to go. We are up here at Westminster, North Pollington Creek, and let me tell you what, it is amazing up here. The temperatures are lower, but the entrance fees are even lower. Give us a call, come on down. Now hiring for CNAs, of course. The elves are here in the room. Elves, take your stations. Come on out. Here come our elves. They are on their way to their stations. Here they are. Okay, the elves were given a clue. The very first clue was to start with their buckets. So the elves are going to start exploring their stations. Let's take a look around and see what they have. Let's walk over here. This is station number 2. This is called stocking stuffers. This is John and Betsy. John and Betsy, say hello. Hello.
Hello.
John and Betsy are some of our Westminster Palms elves. John and Betsy are 755 years old. They've been married for 600 years. What is your secret? All right, let's see. They're going to keep looking through those stockings over here. We're going over here to station number 5. This is our elf COVID check-in station. So you can see here at the elf COVID check-in station that there is a polar bear, a bucket, of course, that they start with. We have some cookies and all kinds of, oh, look at this. This is a COVID testing tube here. Oh, and we have Fred and Alita. Fred and Alita, say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
And tell us which one is Fred and which one is Alita.
I'm Fred. This is Alita.
That is station number 5. Have you guys found a clue yet?
Yes.
Oh, we got a clue. What is it?
It's a piece of blank paper.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound like a clue at all. Oh, look, let's go over here to station number 4. We have the outgoing gifts station. And this is Ken and Dottie. Hi, Ken and Dottie. How are you guys?
Oh, fine.
Now, this is outgoing gifts. So this is the table where the packages go right before they go out from Santa's workshop here. Now, the whole deal is Santa's lost. We're trying to find him. Do you have a clue?
Yes, we do.
Read it to us, Ken.
His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry, his droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. And there's a red G there.
A red G.
Yeah. There's red letters. As I drew in my head and was turning around, red O, G O, down chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed R, so that's G-O-R, all right, all in fur from his head to his
Well, let me stop you there. Dottie, you're unwrapping presents. Why are you unwrapping presents?
It said
Oh, we have a noise. Dottie, what did it say?
It said unwrap
Packages.
Unwrap the gold packages. Okay. And each of those has clues in them.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Keep working on that.
Okay.
Elves, we have an email. Elves, we have an email up on the screen. It says, "You can do it. We are all counting on you to find Santa before it's too late. We know you can do it. Colin in the room next door." That's not much of a clue at all. Patty, we'll come back to you. Fred's got something over here. Fred, this is at the elf check-in. We have station number 5. Fred has a clue. What do you got, Fred? Read it to us.
It says, find the address of the 6-foot elf to unlock the book.
And here's the book.
We have a book to unlock.
Alita has a book over here. So find the address of the 6-foot
And
elf.
that will give us the clue to open this book.
Okay, hold on to that information. Keep looking. Let's come over here to Toy Bench. This is station number 1. We have Patty. Hi, Patty.
Well, hi, how are you? But I don't see any clue here.
No clue here. Did you look through the bucket?
Is this the bucket?
That is the bucket. Yep.
I
So-
did look through the bucket.
Okay, dig through the bucket. Keep digging and see what you can find there. All right, this is the toy bench. As you can see, we have all kinds of toys over here. And let's go see Dave at Santa's desk, table number 3. Hey, Dave, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I
Dave,
found my clue.
okay, what you got?
It says Santa has a great book collection. I'm thinking that's this over here.
Okay, there's books, yep. Santa has a great book collection. Okay, well, that's a good clue. Start there.
Start there.
All right, let's check in on the stocking stuffers at table number 2. Oh, we got a clue.
Mean elf.
What?
Ooh,
Oh,
Fake clue. Mean elf.
Oh, it looks like
There's no mean elves here.
looks like we found a clue. Oh, something's happening here. We found a clue from a mean elf. It says it's a fake clue, and I believe the lights are off. So when the lights go off, we were instructed to not move. Up on the screen, I know it's hard for you to see, but we have a bird, a heart, and a smiley face.
So this was one of the coolest features of the room. On the other side of the room, our people in the watch party picked the word fake clue as the hot word. And fake clue, every time they said that, we turned the lights down and we gave these symbols, the bird, the heart, and the smiley face, which were an answer to a riddle later on. And it was really fun to be able to have the people on the other side of the room make that decision. So now they're laughing because they know fake clues are coming, and they're going to be, the lights are going to be going off on them every single time.
Is going a direction. Let's go check in with Patty and see what she has found at station number 1.
The main clue has been here. Green elf. Who is that?
What'd you find?
This clue doesn't help you. Try the real clue. Clue.
Dave says he got a fake clue as well.
You are such a fake clue finder.
The lights are off. Let's see what we have. Oh, here we go. We have the bird and the heart. I know this is hard for you to see at home. We have the bird and the heart and the smiley face have popped up again. That's bird, heart, and smiley face. All right. So that is probably pretty important. Keeps coming up. Let's go check in with Patty. Patty looks like she's doing something special here. Patty, what are you working on?
I am working on the people that are naughty and making a list of them.
Okay, I'm not. I hope I'm not on that list.
I haven't seen your name
I
yet.
was on that list 435 years ago, but 430 years ago I was able to get off of it. It was quite the ordeal. I tell you what, once you get on that list, it's very difficult to get off of it. So Patty, what are you writing down? What have you found there?
I found 5 names.
5 names. Okay, gotcha. All right, let's go check in. Let's go check in with the outgoing gift station, station number 4. Let's see what they have. So tell us, what are you guys working on?
We're working on the night before Christmas, and I just found the
First part.
first part. It was the last box I opened.
Now that you had a chance to see what's going on in the game and you had a look at all the stations and the residents, let's take a moment and dive into the stations and the residents themselves and figure out how we decided who went where. So let's start with station number 4, your favorite, outgoing gifts. How did you decide who was going to be at that station?
So, Dottie loves to read, and most of the clues at this station were literature-based clues. So you've already seen that they've unwrapped the gifts and they found "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" as one of the clues, all right? The poem itself was broken up, so if you unwrap the gifts in a certain way, you wouldn't know the specific order. So you have to know the poem in order to even be able to do the clue. So they haven't figured it out yet, so if you're at home and you want to look up the "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" clue on our clues video, I encourage you to do that and participate along. But that was kind of my reasoning for their area specifically.
So each station is very unique, just like each set of residents is very unique. And next up is our elf check-in station. How did you decide who was going to be at that station?
Yeah, absolutely. So Alita's background is in the medical field, so I knew there was going to be a lot of medical-related questions and topics in this area, and you will see that as we're going forward. They haven't gotten to those clues yet, so I'm not going to give them away. But that's how I chose them for that specific spot.
So that takes us to our most intricate station, Santa's desk, which is a very important station, very complex. How did you choose who was going to work there?
Yeah, so Dave and I have worked on the computer together before, and I knew that this station had some computer aspects, so I knew that he would be at least familiar with that. And I just know kind of the way that he thinks. He's a golfer, and he thinks about kind of those things in a very specific way, and I thought that it would be a good station for him.
And that comes across on camera very clearly, as you just saw. You can see Dave thinking the whole time. I love that his body language is so focused. That takes us to our last 2 stations. which is the toy bench and stocking stuffings, and those are both very similar. So how did you decide on those?
Yeah, so both of those areas are extremely physical areas. There's a ton that's going on and a ton you have to root through. All right, so I knew I needed some of the elves who were not going to be hesitant about rooting through. Right, so first I picked those residents, and you also had to be meticulous. You had to look up underneath all kinds of different things to be able to figure everything out. So it was just a little bit of a different area, and I thought that those residents that we put there, Patty and John and Betsy, I thought they would do great there.
Oh, okay, so it looks like they are hard at work. You guys are pulling out letters?
My cat had just settled down. This is the next one.
So it looks like the letters that they're working on are all different colors. They're pulling out certain colors of letters,
The first.
and they're practicing their use of the English language. Okay, Fred and Alita are still digging around at station number 5. Have you made any progress from your first clue?
No, we're looking for an address.
And then there was a mean elf that left a negative clue.
A negative clue. That doesn't sound good at all.
Some of these elves.
Okay, so you still only have one clue, and it's the Buddy the Elf clue. Oh, we got the lights are going dark again. Let's flip it over here. I know it's hard for you to see the screen at home. There we go. There's our screen. It says bird, heart, smiley face. Bird, heart, smiley face. That's the third time we've seen that. Okay, does anybody else have a new clue?
I've got some numbers.
Okay, there we go. Let's go over here to Dave. Dave says he's got some numbers.
I got 2 pieces of paper. One of them has the number 20 on it, and the other one says 315.
Okay.
Does that mean anything to anybody?
315, does that mean anything to you guys?
But the 20 is just 20, but the 15 indicates that there's a time, like it's a clock.
It's sort
And
of
that's the time school gets out.
all right. Need to dig deeper. I guess.
Okay, keep looking, keep looking. All right, what are you guys working on over
We need a
here?
hint. We keep
We
getting
need a
fake
hint.
clues.
You need a hint. What?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, what clues do you have?
Well, we have bird, heart, smiley face.
Okay.
We have 20 and 315. We have
Fake. Two fake clues.
from mean elf.
Okay, well, keep digging around. Keep see what you can find. Keep digging around over there and see what you can figure out. So Dave is still working hard. Okay, so we got here station number 5. All right, station number 5. All right, let's see what they have here.
So we were able to open this because of 315.
Okay, 315. Oh, so
And
you
we were
found.
able to open this.
Okay, very nice.
And we have this clue, which is
The number you need is 3. What symbol does it go with? What symbol does 3 go with? What symbol is 3? 3 what? 3 bugs and
Okay.
not saying here.
So what kind of clue did you find here?
we're looking for what goes with 3, like 3.
Okay, I like it. All right, keep digging around, see what you can find here.
Symbol does it go with?
All right, we do have a clue coming in here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll read it to you back home because I know you can't see that. It says, look in the tiny stockings, John and Betsy.
Look at the tiny stocking.
Tiny stocking.
Okay.
Tiny stocking. We got lots of stockings.
Okay. So John and Betsy are going to look through the tiny stockings. Let's go check in with Patty and see what she finds here. Oh, Fred has found something.
I think 3 goes with tree. 3 trees.
3 trees.
No?
Gotcha. Well, see what you can figure out there.
No?
Let's check in with Patty and toy bench number 1. Patty, what are you finding out?
I don't know.
Do you have anything? What have you got written down? What are you looking for?
I'm not doing very well.
All right, we'll come back to you. No problem. Okay, we got another typing clue up on the screen. It says, Santa must have a screw loose with all the Coke he drinks. See if we can get a little closer there and see that. Santa must have a clue with all the Coke he drinks.
All the Coke he drinks. Oh, the other way. I need something.
Okay, looks like John on station number 2, Stocking Stuffers, has found something.
I found a little picture of Santa. It says second.
Second. Okay,
Second what?
keep looking, see what you can find.
Puzzle pieces too.
Oh, you found puzzle pieces. Let's take a look at those. What do you got? Okay, puzzle pieces.
We haven't tried to put it together yet.
Here's another message I got.
John found another message here.
It says you.
Okay, there we go. Very nice. Dave, what'd you find?
Got a clock that says 3:15,
Okay, 3:15 was one of your clues.
but I gotta find the 20.
Okay, gotcha. All right, keep digging around, see what you can find. Okay, Fred and Alita are still digging around over here. Let's take a look and see what they're looking at.
So here's what we're doing.
So they found some grids.
Here's the heart,
And the bird.
and here's the bird.
Okay, we got heart and bird.
But it has several numbers there. So we're trying to figure out
I'd open the chest.
how to open this chest to get the clue.
Okay, so what we're doing now is we found that the symbols that were on the computer, on the screen, are the same as the symbols that are on this grid.
Right.
And so here on this lock are similar symbols.
Okay, and so Alita has found a lock.
So I go to the right.
All right, so this is kind of the first example in the room of frustration for the elves. And you were in the room with them, you had the pulse of the room. Could you just tell us what was going on in there?
Frustration is a great word for it. And you know, one of the great things about an escape room or problem solving in general is that you don't know how close you are to solving something until you don't know anything. And so Fred and Alita here, they came out of their station and they found the communal chest that had the picture lock on it. So this lock has pictures all the way around, and they right away figured out that the 3 symbols that were flashing up on the screen were the symbols that would work with this combination because they're all on there. And so right away they started twisting and turning, and you know, none of us have used a combination lock since high school, so there's a very specific way you have to do it, and unfortunately there's just one small thing, they weren't turning it far enough, and I could see that right away, and I can tell you I was frustrated because I knew how close they were, and they worked on it over and over and over and just couldn't quite get it. What they didn't realize was because they had moved away from their station, there wasn't a lot of answers for them in that trunk yet anyway, because they weren't going to be able to make sense of it.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice for them to have a little victory at that point in time.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, on the other side of the room producing it, seeing Fred, especially Fred, stray from his area so quickly. The elves, beforehand, we had given them a lot of instruction. Your area holds tons of clues, and we have taped off areas for each one of the elves. And I've told them, just go through your area, dive through it. So, I mean, I'm glad that they're in the communal area doing that, but there's just so much that they've left behind. And so I'm already thinking, like, oh my gosh, this is kind of out of the order of the way that I was thinking at the time. So it's just a little bit confusing, but it was also kind of funny, just the lack of control, what you thought was going to happen and what really didn't happen. Live production.
While Fred and Alita are working on this lock, they have found a lock that has symbols on it. Okay, Dave has found something over here. Let's go check in.
I have a second symbol here.
Okay, we got a second symbol.
There's inside the clock, which I've torn apart, it says there is one word that is the answer to all 3 riddles. It is also your second symbol. And the riddles are, I look down on all the presents. Christmas needs me as a guiding light. And I was born to be a blank. My guess is star. And if that's Fred, the second symbol is a star.
It's a star. Okay.
Okay, so you found a star, and you have 315, and you have a number. 315 was how you, that's how, okay, that was the clock. Okay. All right, let's go check in with John and Betsy at Stocking Stuffers number 2. They have all kinds of things that they have uncovered. We are making some moves here. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Betsy, tell us, what have you found here?
We found a bunch of pictures with words on them, and we put them together. It says, first you need is the same number as your second, but the is left over.
Well,
Oh, the first.
ah, there we go.
The first you need is...
Read it to us again then.
The first you need is the same number as your second.
Okay.
So at this point, there's a ton of information that's been found and a lot of clues that have come out to light. So Colin, tell us a little bit about what we found so far.
So we were just watching John and Betsy, and they had figured out the tiny stockings clue. Okay, so there were 12 tiny stockings on the very front of the stockings table. And if you brought out the words, they in order gave out a clue. The problem is that John found them and then just came out with them randomly. So then he had to unscramble them. And luckily I made it so the clue that even if you unscramble it wrong, you were still going to get it right. Because it said your first symbol is the same as your second. But if you even read it, your second symbol is the same as your first, it would always work. That was purposefully done with that clue because I knew if they didn't scramble it right, that it would still always work. So that I had to think that one through a little bit ahead of time. What if they don't pull them out in order? And that's exactly what happened. They also are pulling out puzzle pieces right now, which were in the very bottom of the giant stockings. And there's all kinds of cotton ball, all kinds of stuff in there, and they have to get these puzzle pieces out, and that gives them, when they on the opposite side, we drew a symbol that allows them to figure out what one of their symbols is, right? So those were pretty cool. The clock clue that David had, really awesome. It was a fake clock. So unless you picked it up, you wouldn't have known. And you picked it up, he opens it up, and there's all kinds of riddles on the inside. So he got that one pretty quick. Star was the right symbol, and we made those kind of as much as we could toward the riddles were Christmas-oriented riddles. And then the last one that I want to talk about, we've already seen Patty going through the naughty list, right? The naughty list is almost 15, 20 pages. It's really long, right? We took those pages and we soaked them in coffee, and so they look like they're worn out. So they look like they've been around for hundreds of years, right? So they're pretty cool and antique-like. And you can see that on the clues video if you're paying attention and watching along, because the naughty list is up there. But another thing that I wanted to add is my sister's cat, my sister's obsessed with cats. My sister's cat was dying that week, and my sister's husband, my brother-in-law, I suppose, I don't call him that very often. I love him a lot, and he was having a really hard time with it. He was having his grandpa was dying as well, so it was a really rough week for him. One of the names in the book is Wesley Goja, and those are the first two names. It was kind of just a tribute to my family as I was doing this. So they watched this and they love this, and I know they played along in the clues video, so I know they can go back now and look and see that. So it's kind of cool.
So John and Betsy are going to get theirs in order. Let's go back and check in on station number 4, outgoing gifts, and see what they have found. Do you have a sentence?
We haven't put the remembering the song poem together.
We're trying to get Santa onto the roof.
Okay, gotcha.
He's on the roof.
Gotcha. Okay, Fred and Alita have a Coke can.
Yeah, because here was the clue. Where's the Santa must have a clue with all the Coke he drinks. So we pulled this up, and it's a 5.
It's a 5.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same number as your station.
Yes. So
Is there anything else with the Coke can at number 5?
it's dented.
Okay, take a look at it.
Oh, it's a
Keep
small-
looking at everything. See what you can figure out. All right, let's see what Patty at station number 1 has found. All right, Patty, what have you come up with?
The first number you need is, but then it has him, is he not? His he number? That doesn't make any sense.
The first number you need, say the beginning again.
Is
Can you say that louder, Patty?
the first number you need is, but then I'm stuck. He number.
We got that too.
Is
The first
the
number
same
you need.
as the second.
Dave, did you get one as well? The first number you need?
John says the first number you need is the same as the second.
Okay. All right. So that sounds pretty good. Keep digging around. See if you missed a letter there, Patty. Check it out and see. Okay, let's go back in and check in with station number 4 and see if they found anything. Did you find anything?
Well, we found things, but we don't get it. Doesn't make sense yet, Andy.
We're finding.
Still checking it out here.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Look for on
Here.
Oh, we heard a noise over here. That's the station number 5, the elf check-in.
Oh, this is that darn Coke can. Oh, it's got something in here. Oh, wow.
Patty,
That's pretty sneaky.
All right, Fred and Alita at station number 5 found a note in the Coke
In
can.
the Coke can, it says the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Hold the locked box in your hands and get everyone in the room and watching at home to sing Jingle Bells.
The locked box, that beauty locked box we had was this one.
And we opened it.
Okay, so we got a Coke can and a clue. Keep looking, see what you can find.
What's R-I-D-I-S?
R-I-D-I-S.
Maybe it doesn't mean that you.
I don't know. Double check your math. Did you carry the 4? All right, let's check over here and see what John and Betsy are doing at station number 2, stocking stuffers. Oh, check this out, ladies and gentlemen.
That number is 3.
Betsy
Yes.
has flipped the puzzle pieces over.
I got a good hint.
And there is something on the back of the puzzle pieces. John is unstuffing all of the stockings that they stuffed in preparation for Christmas Eve. Patty has a clue over here.
Yes.
You have a locked box?
Patty, what'd you find?
3.
3.
Blue cars.
Okay, and what does that number mean?
What?
What does that number mean?
That I don't know.
Well, what did the clue tell you to begin with?
Who is on the naughty list this year?
3. I think it's a lot longer than that. All right, let's go check in with Fred and Alita at station number 5 and see what's going on here.
We developed a clue that we put over with the lock. Did it open?
No, it's locked. And this is a combination.
Okay.
Well, maybe if you
Read the notes you got.
Oh, we're supposed to all sing Jingle Bells.
Says the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Hold the lockbox in your hands and get everyone in the room and watching at home to sing Jingle Bells.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all.
Okay, this part was really exciting for us. Jingle Bells was supposed to be sung by the whole group, but unfortunately they missed a few small things. Tell us about it, Colin.
Yeah, so this was actually kind of designed as an ode to Elf, the movie again. They sing Jingle Bells and then magic happens, right? So we had a Bluetooth lock in the room, and Andy had the code on his phone. And you can kind of see, actually, the Bluetooth lock, that's Andy pointing at it right there. And when they were singing it, they were supposed to hold the Bluetooth lock up to the camera, and then it would pop open, and it would be magical. The production would be great. It's not exactly how it went down, but we still got it all down, and here's the clues that they find.
Fred and Alita have their lock.
I got it. I found it. I squeezed in here.
All right.
Second number you need is number 4.
I can't remember
Okay.
the first number.
Let's go check in. John and Betsy have a clue over here.
We got a sheet of numbers.
All right, take a look and see what we have here.
So this clue was kind of hard, but it's a pretty normal type of cipher. And Andy, what did you think about it?
So this is a perfect example of getting the people at home involved, in that we knew some of the clues were going to be really challenging, but we also knew that there'd be a ton of people that had access to the information. And amazingly enough, my wife at home actually figured this out. This is an alphabet clue, and each of the numbers that you see corresponds with a letter of the alphabet. And if you look at it long enough, you can quite clearly see that it is the same number as the letters in the alphabet. And when you correlate those, you can make out the words. And big thanks to Amy at home for figuring out and sending that information in and sharing it with our residents.
Yeah, she sent it in to the Westminster Elves email that we had, and I was able to put it up on the screen and that later on, and that ended up helping everybody out. It was really fun to get those emails from people coming in trying to solve those challenges. So it was a really good addition to the whole interactive feature.
Anybody out there have any idea what these numbers might stand for?
All right, Betsy, so what have you figured out here?
Nothing.
Okay, so
It
so
doesn't
far
seem to make any.
you have a number.
I have a lot of numbers. Okay.
You know that you found out that the numbers were your same number, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's finding numbers and symbols is what I can see so far.
What am I supposed to do with the number 3?
Okay, do you have any other clues?
No.
Okay, so you got one number, that's good. Keep looking, see if you can find any other clues.
So here in all the chaos, we're coming up on one of our favorite objects, and that is the Coke can.
And the Coke can, there were 3 of them in the room. They were all around polar bears, just like the traditional Coke at Christmas time around the polar bear. And the can lid screwed off, and so I could put notes in there, right? And there was a clue earlier you heard that was posted on the email that said, Santa loves Coke so much, he must have a screw loose, right? So it was telling you to screw loose the Coke can. And it was a very challenging aspect, but finally the elves get it.
Alita has a Coke can that is opening.
Patty?
Oh, here we go.
My question had a dent in it.
So Ken found the same Coke can
Because Alita helped me.
that Alita found. There we go. So we have a little bit of help. And then you can see Patty over there is doing the same thing. Oh, here we go. Ken has found a clue in the Coke can.
The 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 12 fiddlers fiddling, 10 pipers piping, 9 drummers drumming, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 orderings. That's the partridge in a pear tree.
Okay, very nice. And this is the Coke can that he found it in. Looks like a normal Coke can, feels like a normal Coke can, but there is a hole in there.
I got this.
Let's go
It's
check
just
it out.
A partridge in a pear tree.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right. So here's what they did over here. Let's check it out here. On the chest are directional arrows that they have been finding in their pockets.
Check F. Papa. Who's Elf Papa?
That'd be me.
That's you. Elf Papa's supposed to know what the number code
Okay,
is.
so let's see what we found over here.
And the big day is the 25th.
Okay, so it looks like,
Now this could be conceivably have to do with the lockbox. Has the
Yes, it might
lockbox
be.
been
Dave,
opened?
Dave's got the lockbox. Dave, we got a bunch of numbers.
Well, we have a clue. We have a clue, Dave.
a clue? You have a clue?
The first number you need is the same as the second.
Okay, good, but we haven't found the number yet, right?
Well, we have. We have a number 1 over here with a heart around it.
Okay, gotcha. So that's good. Number 1.
And you need the 1 1
And we
twice.
have several lines that start with 1. We have 2. 1 and then 19.
Okay.
1, 18, 5, and 1.
All right, here we have Dave has unlocked his computer with the clue that he found in his lockbox.
On the stuff.
So Dave, once he finished, Dave is going to read the email to us. Now, Dave, tell us, how did you open up the computer?
Okay, the clue that I found was the big day, and I typed in 1225, which was the code to open it up. And then there's a letter from the Easter Bunny. And the Easter Bunny says,
Easter Bunny?
So Dave doesn't actually end up reading the full email to the camera here, so I wanted to get it up here so that you guys could see it. This is one of my absolute favorite clues that I wrote. It's really hilarious. It's an Easter Bunny email directly to Santa, so their conversation, right? So he says, Santa, this is the final straw. People are doing more and more search games during Christmas time. Searching is for Easter. This part is funny because they're currently in a search game, right? And so Easter Bunny is calling Santa out for creating this escape room search game when he thinks that should be for Easter eggs, right? So the funny thing is it's commentary on what's actually happening to the people in the room. You always make me feel like second fiddle, and I am fed up with it. You better put a stop to all these search games around Christmas or your days are numbered. I would appreciate you responding to this email. Also, will you ask Buddy the 6-foot elf to bring back the golden egg machine? This is another huge hint for Fred and Alita. So if he would have read it out loud, it would have told them which elf was the 6-foot elf, because their very first clue is find the address of the 6-foot elf. The answer was in here, and he was supposed to read it out loud. So that was the importance of being able to take that and go across the room there. He thought he needed to make golden omelets, but I explained to him that is not how it works. The golden egg machine is critical to my operation over here, and I can't get half of what I need done without it. Thanks for your help in these 2 matters, and I will see you in 4 days for the Magical Characters 500th reunion. Sincerely, the Easter Bunny. So it was a really fun clue, and I'm not going to give away what the answer is. Hopefully you can figure that out for yourself at home. We'll get back to the video right here.
the second number you will need is half of 4. So the second number is 2.
There we go, half of 4. We did a little bit of math.
So in the room, there was a ton of frustration because in the buckets, everybody had a little piece of paper that was blank.
So right here, we give a clue on the screen that says to use a lighted pen to look at this blank paper. So what this blank paper is it's invisible writing. And each one of the pens, they don't write anything out. You can't see it. But then when you use the black light, you can see it, right? So I wrote all these notes in these magical looking jars, and everybody had them. We saw them earlier. Fred took it out, and you commented on it. That's not much of a clue. Well, it was a clue right in front of their faces, and that's why when we gave this clue in, we knew it would prompt all them to read this.
All of you have a light in your bucket.
Okay, it looks like Fred and Alita
There is something very interesting.
have found something over here. Let's check it out.
With the black light, which we thought was a pen. Here we go. It says,
Back there.
okay, Fred is reading it.
This says each one of you should be able to find the 2 important numbers on the grid from your area.
Grid.
Oh, look what we found. We
I'm
don't
just
know how
gonna
to
figure
make
out how to
it
turn
work.
it on.
Let's see.
Right.
Okay.
Here it is.
Oh.
Oh boy. Each one of you should be able to find 2 important
Numbers
numbers
on the
grid
Grid in your area.
your area.
We can't find a grid. What would the grid be?
Says that too, but what does it look like?
Patty says look for a grid. Dave, what does yours say?
Same thing, look for a grid.
Look for a grid. Okay, very nice.
You'll find two on the grid from your tree.
And we got grids. Only one group at the communal station at a time, please. There we go. So we've got a grid.
At this point, chaos is happening in the room, but chaos is happening behind the scenes as well.
Yeah, so on the other side where we have the watch party going on, we also have people watching from all the different Westminster complexes. We have my family watching, your family watching. We have tons of people watching and participating. I'm getting emails left and right with people who are sending in these clues. So when you hear a clue go up on the screen right now, those clues aren't coming from me. Andy has mentioned Keith a couple times, but there are other people who send in clues, and I'm just throwing them in as quickly as I can. So it was a little bit challenging. The technology was hard because I can't see the screen that you're on when I'm doing it, because I can't show them everything that I have on my computer. So I am trying to really multitask behind a computer on the other side, and then I also have 25 people with gourmet hot chocolate watching, laughing, because they know some of the stuff that's going on, but they don't know everything that's going on. So it's a really fun atmosphere on the other side, and I really enjoyed it, but it was also really hectic.
Oh boy, we have people finding numbers and symbols all over the place. Okay, so let's go check in with Jim.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
now,
Woo!
the outgoing gifts, table number 4 found something.
That's it, number 3.
What'd you get? What'd you
It
find?
says, look for the number of circled Christmas trees on a special package for your second number.
Okay, so you have a second number. 3.
Yeah.
Do you have a first number?
No.
No.
Do you have symbols?
No.
Symbols.
No.
Symbols.
No.
Everybody else has 1 or 2 numbers and 1 or 2 symbols.
315.
Okay.
Remember we already did it, 315. I went through all of them.
Okay,
We found
let's check in with Fred and Alita. They found all kinds
Here
of
was
stuff.
a clue that said, look, each one of these things said, look, in the doctor's order.
Okay,
Okay, these are the doctor's orders. A clue that Fred and Alita just found. They found this by looking through all of the COVID check-in sheets, and at the bottom of each sheet it started to make a sentence to look through the doctor's orders. The doctor's orders were in a filing cabinet. The doctor's orders are a really good clue, really fun to kind of figure out yourself. So if you're playing along and you're checking out our clue video right now, go to the doctor's orders and try and figure it out before Fred and Alita figure it out. But the behind the scenes part of this that I wanted to note is the date. So it says March 15th, and they've already figured out this clue, so I can go ahead and give this away. But March 15 is 3:15. That was also the time of the clock in which it had the star clue for David in Santa's office. It was also the code for the box in for the little book box for Fred and Alita in their area. And March 15th is also the birth date of my fiance. So just a little tribute to my family. And there was actually a lot of these little things that kind of interacted from place to place. And I'm just trying to point out some of them so you can see how all of this was planned masterfully from the very beginning.
Patty, what symbols did you find?
I have a bird and I have a butterfly.
Okay, which one's your first symbol?
The bird,
Okay, so the bird's number 1, the butterfly is number 2. Do you have any numbers?
a 3,
Okay, is that your first one or your second one?
my first.
All right, so we're looking for a second number. Okay, we're going to go back over to station number 4, outgoing gifts. They found something, a tag.
A tag. Here, there's more tags. Here, Kim, on the back.
Let's spin around this way and take a look.
Oh, look what we're finding.
Okay, they got all kinds of tags.
Oh, we didn't know we should touch these.
What's on the tags?
Letters and symbols.
Letters and symbols.
Yeah.
So Dottie said, I didn't know we could touch these. This is one of the few places we encourage you to touch everything. Ken and Dottie have a
First
clue.
symbol.
Oh, they got a symbol.
A star.
Look at there, a star.
A first symbol.
Very nice. So now, what numbers and what symbols do you have?
We have the first symbol, and our numbers are
Check the records.
2 and 3.
Okay, so you need one more symbol. Actually, I see Patty is working hard on the toys. Patty, this is no time for playtime. We are all working hard. Everybody's getting very frustrated. Santa is stuck somewhere, and Patty is playing with the toys. Patty, what are you working on over here?
I am counting the number of toy soldiers here.
Okay. Because you're bored?
No, it's in the clue.
Oh, it's the clue. Tell us the clue. What was the clue?
Clue.
3.
Count the number of army men. The first digit is the second number you need. But what symbol does it go with?
Okay, very nice. Very nice. Keep working. All right, let's go back in and check in. Table number 2, the stocking stuffers, and see what they are looking for.
2 and 4.
Okay, let's check them out. They have a lot of stuff on the table. Dig around and see what you can find.
2 important numbers from our grid. Well, we found one important number.
There's another one and another stuffed animal.
Well,
Okay, we got a clue coming in.
Got who coming
Oh,
in?
here we go. This clue is from Keith Best. This clue is from Keith Best, and it says, how many letters are in the alphabet? This is to John and Betsy. So this is Keith at home. Now, to John and Betsy, it says, I'm sorry, Fred and Alita, it says, what did the doctor's order say? Okay, so Keith Best, thank you for joining us, Keith, and sending in your thoughts. Keith is following along at home and thinks he is on to something. So we're looking for how. Okay, Fred and Alita. Oh, it looks, we'll skip Fred and Alita. They found the clue. All right, and here comes table number 2, stocking stuffers.
partial clue
Where did you find it?
on the back of one of the
Honey, put this
of the snowman.
pink light on it and it'll probably complete the.
Okay, so you found one. You found it in the snowman?
Yeah.
Right under there.
Okay. All right, let's go check in with Fred and Alita, see what they have. Patty feels pretty good. She's got 2 numbers and 2 symbols.
Butterfly.
Yeah. Yeah, we were reading the whole thing about sick.
So what'd you find?
So all of these are capitalized, and it says the first symbol is butterfly.
Let's check it out. Let's take a look at it here.
See,
So is this is the doctor's orders.
that was pretty tricky.
And right here,
And I saw the
what Fred and Alita figured out is that the first letter of each sentence is capitalized, and it says, that redheaded guy sure is handsome. Oh, wait, it's okay. No. What did it say?
It says the redheaded guy sure is handsome.
No, it gave you a symbol. What was your first symbol?
The first symbol is the butterfly.
Very nice.
What is the symbol?
Gotcha. Okay, let's go check over here, table number 2. Let's go check in on the table over here and see what we can find.
Let's see if we can put this together.
Okay, we got 2 papers. Show us what you got.
So John and Betsy have just found 2 pieces of paper. Both of them were under clothing that were on a snowman, and they're half letters, and they're putting them together and reading out the clue now.
John and Betsy, what did it say?
Count the sheep.
Count the sheep.
There's more to it.
But there's more to it. Where's the
I
stomach?
got it, honey. 4.
4.
Plus 1. That's our second number?
Or plus 1. Oh, for number 1.
For number 1.
Okay,
There's
count the sheep.
It's 1 and 1.
1 and 1. So you got 2 numbers and a symbol.
And a what?
A symbol. You told me earlier you had a heart.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Everybody, Patty has 2 numbers and 2 symbols.
Oh.
All right.
He's got a combination.
Dave is working on the combination lock.
And then the
Here's a bird.
Let's see. Dave is down here working
the heart,
on the chest.
and then the smile.
He's giving CPR to the brown chest.
Heart. The smiling face.
Now, Alita was a nurse, so she's supervised. Ladies and gentlemen, the trunk is open.
We have a trunk.
Dave, tell us, how did you get the trunk open?
You're a safe cracker, I guess.
Amazing, amazing.
Let's take a look at the combination lock
You
here,
get to
Dave.
open it.
All right, so Dave and Betsy, if you guys wouldn't mind taking Dot, take a few steps back.
Well, big deal.
There's a disappointment.
Inside the chest,
Six.
it looks like hanging ornaments. 6 ornaments now.
Must be important.
Okay, very nice. So this is the lock that they found. Take a look at this. You can see the symbols that are on here.
So there were 2 trunks in the room. The one that they just opened is actually my trunk from my grandfather in World War II. And then Andy also had his own trunk from his father when he went to college. And so they're both ancient looking trunks.
There's so much going on in this room right now. Everybody's getting excited. They're a little bit tense, but that's okay. We're getting close.
So Andy's exactly right here. They are getting very close. Dave is working on his last clue right there, which is the Dear Santa letters in the PS section.
So what Fred and Alita didn't tell you was while we were turned around, they saw that the Christmas balls were on the second grid. Let's take a look at that for you guys at home.
Got it.
Fred and Alita are using the second grid because those were the same as the balls that they found
You're in station
in the
2.
trunk. So there's 2 grids.
heart, right?
So now we know which grid we're using here. So Dave, explain to the camera what you figured out here.
Okay, to figure out the number that you want, you have to have a symbol and then a number.
We have more.
Okay, so everybody around us has symbols and numbers for the most part.
Okay, so your first symbol, you find that, and then you find your first number and come across and find it.
Okay.
Okay, Patty is over here waiting patiently. Patty has 2 symbols and 2 numbers.
Okay, Patty, what's your first number? First symbol.
My first symbol is the bird, and it's number 1. And my second symbol is the butterfly, and it's number 2. The 1 and 2.
Well, what are your first numbers? Your first number. You have 2 numbers, right?
3.
3 was the first number?
Well, I thought number 1 was mine, and then I just go down. And
No, that was
not
wrong.
right.
No. I led you astray.
Well, you did.
Okay, so let's try. Your first symbol was what?
A bird.
A bird. So we're in this column here. The first number was what?
3.
3, 30, 7. So 7 is your first number.
All right.
Got that?
Yeah.
What's your second symbol?
The butterfly.
Okay, and the second number?
4.
2. 2 is your second number.
So it's 7-2.
7, 2 is yours.
Okay.
Mine was 3, 5. You figured it out?
My first number is 3 and the symbol is butterfly, so my first number is 5.
Correct.
And the second number is number 4.
And the symbol is?
What is our second symbol?
We only have the 1 symbol.
You gotta find another symbol.
Okay, so we're making good progress here.
Our second symbol is the butterfly.
Okay.
Okay,
What's your second number?
Same as the first.
What's the first?
We have a heart with number 1 in it.
Okay.
So
So a
7.
heart and the number 1?
Yeah.
So your first number is 7. And then your second symbol
Butterfly.
and the number 1 again? So 2. Your code is 72.
That's the same as my code.
Yes, it is.
Patty says that's the same as her code.
Yes.
Okay, station number 1 is 7-2. Station number 2, what was that?
Or maybe it was 27.
Dave, what are your two numbers?
3-5.
Okay.
So we got 3-5-7-2-7-2.
Fred and Alita are working on their last clue. Let's check it out and see what
I
they
didn't
have.
want to upset the cookies. I was going to eat them. A star is our second symbol.
Okay, read the clue to the
And
camera.
the second number is.
The clue is. Wait, did I see this, Fred? Oh, here. Okay, the clue is the coffee in this place is always bad. First, the coffee maker is broken, which it is. Second, even when it turns on, it doesn't have hot water. It's symbol of how bad the flavor is. And the T equals the coffee in bitterness. The big man should get it fixed for us so we can have good coffee with our cookies every day. And so we finally went through the cookies and found our second symbol, which is
You
star.
got two numbers from Dave. Yeah. Okay, now we have two
So
symbols and two numbers.
We have two symbols and two numbers, so we have to find a third symbol.
No, you need 2 symbols and 2 numbers.
We have that.
And we have those.
All right, come out to the middle. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so everybody has used their two symbols and their two numbers.
The first symbol.
The first symbol is a butterfly,
Okay, number, first number.
and the first number is 3.
So the number we want is 5,
Right.
and then second symbol.
The second symbol is a star.
And the number is
What is that number again?
second number.
Our second number is
Second number is 4.
4.
7. So I got 5, 7, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a 10-digit number, and that would be 7272355857.
Okay,
What happens then?
we have a 10-digit number. Everybody has found their hearts and their numbers.
Where's Santa?
Where is Santa? Okay, so Dave, explain to the camera how you figured that out. What did you come up with?
Okay, what we did on the grid, first we had to figure out which grid to use, and we figured it out because we found ornaments in the trunk. And once we did that, we lined up. Uh-oh. Here comes Santa.
Santa calling?
Papa Elf, we got a leader.
Papa,
Who's gonna get it?
The head elf has to get it.
Over to the right.
It's under this.
There is a phone ringing, ladies and gentlemen.
It's in the trunk.
Hello.
Dave has never used a phone before. Try putting it up to your ear.
Hey, I pushed the green.
I found a black box that's magical.
The magic black box.
Dave, put it to your ear.
Hello. Nobody home.
Nobody home.
Call again. Call again.
It was a crank caller. What a terrible time. It's 2020. Who even has a phone book anymore? How did they get that number? Well,
Okay.
it looks like we're never going to get out of...
Let me try again.
All right, see if there's a green button. Oh, he figured it out. He put it up to his ear. I like it.
Look under the red carpet.
Under the red.
Look under the red carpet.
Where's the red carpet? Look under the red carpet. We are looking. Looking.
Dottie's going slow for dramatic effect. Okay.
Oh, that's the puzzle pieces.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, the pieces go in there.
Okay.
What pieces we have?
Oh, you gotta put the red.
Okay, there we go. So we need Papa Elf is going to work on this. Everybody else give him some space. Papa Elf's going to put the phone away. You can drag the trunk. Let's drag the trunk out in the middle so everybody can see. There we go. Papa Elf is going to figure it out here. You can gather around as long as you're 6 feet away so you can see what's happening, everybody.
Arrows.
Arrows.
Well, you're finding out how good.
Yeah.
So here's what we have. We found a puzzle underneath the red carpet. Every one of the elves in their buckets had puzzle pieces. Dave is putting it together, and it is giving us arrows. Dave, show the camera what you got here.
Up, left, right.
Men's room, ladies' room.
Up, left, right. Up, left, right.
Oh, it's in this book.
Now, everybody at home already knows that Ken and Dottie already found the directional combination. Now, Ken, tell us what you were doing the directional combination earlier.
Try to do quarter after the hour, 30, 45, 12.
Right.
Is Santa in the truck? Oh, my God.
There's a diamond ring in there. So.
Here, I'll push this closer. Here, you're closer.
Let's check it out here. Okay.
Oh!
Let's check this out. Okay, let's see what he's got here.
Oh.
I have been pushing on that so much. Push, try clearing it like he did. Push it up.
Okay.
Right.
What's the thing on the top?
Who cares about that? We're saving Santa.
Santa's gonna
We
pop.
got a key!
A key!
Oh!
Another key.
Oh.
Here, Dave. You got a door.
6 feet, 6 feet. Ladies and gentlemen, we found a key to Santa's quarters. It's empty. They emptied out your presents. Just take some presents and go, Santa. You gotta go. It's Christmas Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all of our elves. Very nice. Very nice. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody at home. Thank you for those participating. Thank you for the emails. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you your game master, Mr. Colin Bollinger.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Well, I hope that everybody at home had as much fun as everybody in the room. I can tell it was fun for you guys. I know I made it tough, but you were the feature film for tonight. So everybody got to watch you guys, pay attention, play along. It was a lot of fun. It's the first time we did it and it worked. So we're happy to make it work. We're glad to have this beautiful room in the Westminster Palms. The other side looked amazing, right? With our people watching you, they all loved it. So we are just very, very lucky, very blessed to be able to do all of this. And just Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you from Westminster Palms.
Thank you.
I'm Colin, and we will say good night. Santa saved the day.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and just wanted to talk about the end here. We didn't cut away or have any voiceovers for about the last 20 minutes or so, and that was purposeful. We really felt like the production gained a lot of steam towards the end. There was high levels of drama, and we didn't want to interrupt that. So when we created this final director's cut, we really loved the ending. Even when we rewatched it right now, we were feeling like, oh my gosh, we're almost there. Everything's coming together. And then that big burst when Santa comes out is, the magic comes through at the end. So we had a ton of fun doing it. I hope you guys had a ton of fun.
Well, big thanks to our Game Master Colin for putting it all together, and we thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to many more projects together.